just wanna hang out with my friends and talk about comic books. Leave me alone, I don't want nothing to do with you today. Hey everybody, it's me, Doug. I like how that video just stopped right in the middle and started spinning. That was really cool. I'm really professional, if you can't tell. Anyways, I hope y'all's doing good. I'm doing pretty good. You heard that video there start playing? That's how professional I am. One of my other videos started playing, and it started almost exactly like this one. I was like, am I getting an echo? Well, like I said, I hope y'all's doing good. Any day above ground is a good day. I don't care how crappy things are, we can always be dead. You know, so let's try to have a good day. We got Ash and Jackyl in the chat. Nice to have you. He's the winner of the Wolverton comic books. And actually, right now, the Wolverton's still having a sale. If you go and you buy issue 2, they'll give you issue 1 for free, and that's a really good deal. So go pick that up. Support indie comics. Now that's going to be a little something we talk about today. Is tribalism is killing indie comics. I got a little bit of ranting to do. May or may not be important to you guys. Stuff just kind of aggravates me, and you can only write so many words on Twitter, and then it's like, well, should I send this or not? Because you're really mad. You're like, and then your teeth break, and then you have to go to the dentist, spend a lot of money, and your blood pressure goes up real high. Your head starts hurting. It's not good. But tribalism is killing indie comics. It's ridiculous. We've got these groups now. Originally, it started off, there was a big indie movement that was against the big two, against Marvel and DC. Ash and Jackyl says, I had tons of trouble with my live stream last night, so don't sweat the professionalism. Trust me, I'm not worried about looking professional. If you've seen my other shows, you know how they go. There's this movement in indie comics. It's like, you know, we don't like what Marvel and DC do. We don't like what their artists do. People should be held accountable and all this stuff. So I started this kind of boom in indie comics. And people's like, you know, we'll just make our own comics and we'll sell them to everybody. And now it's like all the indie guys are splintered, and there's politics involved and all this ridiculous stuff. And if you don't worship this guy over here, then you're anti them and all this stuff. Dude, I don't care if you voted for Hillary Clinton and you make a good comic book, I'm going to support you. If you voted for Donald Trump and you made a good comic book, I'm going to support you. It doesn't matter. I don't care about your politics. There's things personally that I believe that's my own personal business, but I'm not going to judge your artwork on it. Now, if your artwork's full of crap telling me, you know, that I should vote for somebody like this or I should do that, I'm not going to support you. But just making good comics that everybody can enjoy, there's no reason for us to be on. We're not on opposite teams. And we've got Serena Sketches in the chat. Hey, thanks for dropping by. I'm just ranting about comic books here for a minute. I see a lot of people wanting to attack somebody because maybe they don't want to be part of their little clique, or maybe they supported this guy over here and they don't like that. What does that matter? You know, I know for a while, a lot of people got mad at Donnie Cates because he denounced a group on Twitter. It doesn't matter. Donnie Cates makes good comic books, so I'm going to continue to support the good comic books that he writes. I don't care if it's Marvel or DC, as long as it's a good, solid comic book. And a lot of stuff with the indie guys, I don't care who you hang out with and what you do. I'm going to try to support just good people. You know, I do have a set of morals, and I don't believe that we should be harassing people, and I don't believe you should be making memes of people, especially pornographic memes. Just that's wrong. I mean, that's actually, you know, you probably could get in trouble with the law. And we've got Sashi in the chat. Hey, Sashi. I figured Sashi would be in bed by now because she lives on the other side of the planet from where I live. Oh, we got old Matthew Reese there in the chat. Hey, buddy. We got quite a few people here who are artists and creators. Fantastic people. If you don't follow any of these people on Twitter or anything, you should. They're all fantastic artists and creators. Especially like I've seen some of Serina's artwork. It's really good. Sashi is very well known, so go check them out. Reese does he has some web comics, and I'm actually looking forward to the comic that he released on IndieGoGo, the Expositioner. And we've also got Sam there in the chat. Oh, Sashi says it's 5:15 in the afternoon, too early for bedtime. Well, you know, I just assumed if it's daytime here, it's nighttime there. So you've got to watch me. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Yeah, we got some great people here. I know a lot of these people feel the same way I do. A lot of this mocking and making fun of people, it makes no sense. There's no reason for us to be dividing up on teams if we're all trying to make indie comic books. If you don't like me, then just leave me alone. There's no reason to like jump in to harass me on Twitter, to send me messages, and then keep making alt accounts when I block you. We've got Jay Woodward there in the chat. What's up, Jay? So we got this is probably the most people I've had while I've been live streaming. So I appreciate you all jumping in. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. It's kind of devolved into that. It's what's happened is you had CG, which was a good, solid movement. It was just about making good comic books, and then it started dividing up into cliques. You had I'm just gonna mention it. You know, they've come after me. They're all blocked here on YouTube, so it doesn't matter. What are they going to do? You have the war campaign, and even. I mean, no matter what, I can't support the war campaign. I can't support the harassment of people who's supposed to be on the same side, much less the people that's not on their side. I don't care if you like Gail Simone or not. You have no reason to make memes of Gail Simone and make fun of the way she looks or anything like that. You can make fun of her because you hate her writing. If she's a terrible writer, you know, just say, hey, Gail, you need to learn how to write or whatever. You know, still kind of mean, but there's no reason to attack the way she looks or anything. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I totally agree with Serena there. She says it became the thing it was fighting against. It totally did. And it's ridiculous that religion, all that stuff wasn't supposed to. At first, it was supposed to be a right-wing thing. It's like, oh, these guys were ostracized for being right-wing. Then it was like, oh, well, you know what? There's other people. You know, we can all just make indie comics and work together. And then it became like just this crazy thing. It's almost like people are paranoid that they're going to lose control of the money. Money, I'm going to quote the Bible here. Like the money says, the love of money, like the Bible says, money is the root. The love of money is the root of all evil, and money will ruin everything. That's one thing I see. All these indie creators is they're not making a lot of money, and you can tell it's not about money. They love the comics, and like I brought up Donnie Cates here a minute ago, and they're talking about Ash and Jackyl says, I still buy Venom. I just dislike Cates as a person. See, I don't know what he believes on anything. I'm sure that we don't agree on much. But I know that I liked it when I heard him talking about Venom and talking about comics and everything that I've read. I like his writing style, and I like that he doesn't seem to insert himself into the comic books. So I liked that. And Serena here says, it feels like Bible-believing Christians are no longer welcome in CG. I totally agree with that. That's what really bothered me from the beginning. It was way back. I used to watch the Aloha stream every night with Edwin and Mike. And I know they were trying to be friends with Ethan and all those guys. But like, the Aloha stream, they told them no cursing, none of this stuff. And it seemed like Ethan and some other guys would come on and just start cursing and being jerks because they knew it upset Mike. And then it seemed like it wasn't jokes. I just tell you honestly, if I know that you believe something and you're going to come talk to me, even if I don't believe it, I'm not going to bring it up or I'm not going to make fun of it. I feel like if you have somebody who's a Christian on your show, you shouldn't drop, GD every other word. It's, I don't know, that offended me. Yeah, even if you're not a Christian, it should offend you to see somebody purposely saying and doing things to make somebody else upset. It's not right. And they're talking about the attacks on Edwin, Mike, and Doug Tenaple for being Christians. You can be anything in Comicsgate now except a Christian. If you're a Christian, they're trying to prove that you're, that you hate people. They call you transphobic and homophobic and all this stuff. Doug Tenaple, he's one of the only guys on here I've actually talked to back and forth. The dude loves everybody. He might not agree with your lifestyle, and he'll have you on the show and talk to you, and he'll never talk down to you. He'll talk to you like a human being. He will respect you. He's a good guy. And if you want to go out and you want to go after him, it's ridiculous. He's a good man. Edwin has done a complete turnaround. Once that people showed Edwin what was going on, Edwin has become the champion of the people. I don't like to talk about this kind of stuff on my show. I usually just go over random comic book news and stuff like that. But we're going to have to start speaking up. We're going to have to start doing things. We're going to have to publicly move away from this. This tribalism and stuff, if they want to be CG, they can be CG. I will not support anybody who goes on Ethan Van Sciver's channel. If you're a Christian and you're on his show while he's dropping GD and promoting War Campaign, who outright post pornography with people's faces on it, or they go to people's live streams and accuse them of being a drug addict and stuff, I'm not going to support you. I'm completely done with that. I'm not going to support anybody that goes on Ethan's channel. I'm not going to support anybody who wants to get comfy with the War Campaign. If you want to come at me and start making an excuse for the War Campaign, I'm going to block you. This is the thing, they say, oh, well, there's good people in War Campaign. There might be good people in War Campaign. But the thing is, once you start using that label, they represent you. That's one reason I dropped the Comicsgate logo hashtag a long time ago. There's people promoting Comicsgate and attacking people that I don't want them representing me. I don't want them representing what I put out. I don't want people to look at my comic and go, well, that's Comicsgate. He must like War Campaign. Or, I don't want that. And people don't understand that. Now they're like trying to make fun of Nasser. They're trying to, and John Del Rose, poor John. And John says things that I don't agree with. I mean, and that's the thing. I can disagree with John. John's never been like, well, you're anti-me and blocked me. John says a lot of stuff I don't agree with, but John's always been really nice to me. John supported my book, and that's what got me in trouble with War Campaign, was I was supposed to denounce John after John was my customer. And I thought we were supposed to be about customer service. It doesn't make any sense. Well, Reese, you say they were always making fun of Nasser. That's true. But now they're trying to harm the dude's business. Now they went back and they're taking clips of where they're making fun of Nasser, and they keep posting. Nasser has had nothing to do with them for a couple of months now, but they want to bring that back up. But going back, speaking about John was one of the first ones that this ever happened to. Ethan admitted on various live streams that he talked to Vox Day on the phone all the time. He's like, oh, Vox is not a bad guy. You should read Vox's book, and SJW's this and SJW's that. Oh, yeah, Vox called me. Vox this, Vox that. Then once somebody in War Campaign didn't like Vox and turned the whole tide against him, then, well, they was like, well, John, he's friends with Vox. We have to get rid of John. It just kind of, snowballed from there. I can't believe I've been ranting like 16 minutes on Twitter drama and Comicsgate drama. That's one thing, though. If you want to be Comicsgate, that's fine, but just realize that Ethan swearing on his live stream represents your book. So if you tell me that you're a Christian and he's saying GD this and GD that represents you. If you want to buddy up and take up for War Campaign, or you want to use that hashtag, just know every time they post a meme with somebody like Bean or Edwin with dildos all over it, or they take porn and post their faces on it, that represents you. That represents everything that you're connected to. And Ashton Jackyl says he finds EVS entertaining and he likes some CG creators. I do too. There's plenty of CG creators that I'm still friends with, and but I'm not supporting that. I'm not supporting EVS. Just public. He's become everything to me that he said he was against. And now I'll probably be attacked. Somebody will go and show this to somebody. But oh well. I'm going to stand on my morals. I was always taught to treat people like I wanted to be treated, whether we agreed or not. It's not right. I don't care what side of anything you're on. This behavior is not right, and I don't want to see it, and I don't want to be a part of it. But anyways, we'll get over that. I'm going to show you guys a book. This is by my friend Aaron, which we might not agree on everything, but the dude's got a killer looking book, and he really supported Lone Wolf. He backed it several times, and he shared the crap out of him the first campaign. And I want to share this for you guys. And it's a good looking book. It is Cybershock version 1.0. They're currently on IndieGoGo. They've got a very, 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 very modest goal, $1,000. They've got 22 days left. And I like this. I like the way this stuff looks. I like the style. There's a naked person. They're covered up by robots. But it's, kind of cyberpunk looking. So, go give this a look if this looks like something that you're into. It's just the creative team is Aaron. He's the writer, drawn and colored by a name I can't pronounce because, like I said, I'm from Tennessee. I can't pronounce the name. But they've got a pretty cool looking little book here. I like the cyberpunk looking stuff. Of course, there's some unfinished pages there, but like the character designs seem solid, and the couple pages there look pretty solid. So it's a 24-page book, and then once they've got some good stretch goals there. Just go give this a look. If it's your thing, that's cool. If it's not, that's cool too. Sorry, I'm checking out the chat here. It says Serena says I feel bad for Nasser. I do too. He's just a young kid, and they could have took and the guy under his wing and just completely, helped him to grow. But they missed the spot. They missed that. Reese says that he's got a jet. I will share the link on Twitter. Some of you guys will have to come on some morning and us talk comics and let me share your projects. And here's a good one. I'll be sharing this one tomorrow. Matthew Mertz is relaunching Megawatt and the Vampires of the Sun on Kickstarter. That is a really cool looking book. It's got art by Josh Spencer, and it's going to be really fun. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. And Serena's right here also about Nasser. Nasser was the first to fulfill in CG. Nasser was the one who helped me when I first wanted to make a comic book. Nasser's book was probably the first book. No, it wasn't the first. Probably like the second or third book I backed behind like Cyber Frog and Red Rooster, which, just letting you guys know, I refunded both of those because they were taking a million years. And I figured if they're good books, I'll just buy them later. But at this point, I don't want them, so it's all good. But yeah, Nasser, when I got his book, it blew my mind. And here he is, this young kid, and he wrote and got together with an artist. So I remember I followed him on Twitter, and I found his. He dropped a link for his YouTube channel, and I got on and I was watching. And he was talking about working on his comic stuff. So I just messaged him. I was like, "Hey man, how did you get into doing all this?" And he talked to me and was talking. I don't know if he even remembers all this, but he was telling me, well, this is what I did, and I was looking for artists here, and I was doing this. Just really friendly, just a really good guy. And every time I spoke to him since, he's always been good to me. He's just a kid. He's got some growing to do, like we all do. He's not there, but one day he will be, because the dude is cranking out stuff left and right. He's cranking out books. That's another thing. Go check out the dude's books. I'm gonna drop links in here. He's gonna be a well-known writer someday, because the dude, he's got the desire, and that means more than anything. Just having the desire to crank out these books, to write, to try to better yourself. That's what it takes. And just one. Let's go back to comics here for just a second. I want to thank everybody for supporting the IndieGoGo, not the IndieGoGo, the Kickstarter. We hit our goal, so now we'll be able to do the cover with Brad Ashworth's art, and Brad is the man behind Handyman. We still got 25 hours to go, so if you decided you want to pick up Brad's cover there, you can pick that up. Pages are still coming in. Everybody's working hard. We added 20 pages not too long ago. So hopefully everything will fall into place. And Ash and Jackyl talking about Nasser, wish he'd do more comics. One of my plans, from this point out, we're going to continue to do Legends of Lone Wolf books. But what I want to do is, like, everybody that worked on this one, well, they're obviously welcome to come back and do more stories. But we're going to condense the books to where it's like maybe 3 or 4 stories. And so have different, like maybe have, I know one of the writers will be able to like cut their story up and have a different part every volume. But then with like, I want to have guest writers come in. Like I saw where Edwin a while back was getting into writing a story. I want to invite Edwin to write a story. I'd like to invite Nasser to come and write a Lone Wolf story. It'd just be really cool, and that way we'll be doing these Legends of Lone Wolf books that are about the character Wolf from my comic, but then I'll have my comic going along too. So it'd just be really cool. Have a revolving door of different artists and writers just doing some really cool stories with a character I created. So I'm gonna wait a little while and give the comic book thing a while to die down, the drama thing for him. And I'm gonna throw that out there and try to get him to come write a story. There's lots of really good artists and other people who are completely neutral in the comic book world, and I'm gravitating towards those people who don't care what I believe or who I voted for, and I don't care what they. Ash and Jackyl, if you want to write a story, man, write one. I'll try to hook you up with an artist. There's a bunch of artists floating around out there. Maybe you could hook up with one of the artists that worked on this last book. I'm looking for people, and this is the thing. The Legends of Lone Wolf book, nobody's making money off this first one. We might have enough money left over to split it up and everybody get a little bit of something. But I'm going to get this book published. It's going to be out there. If you want to show somebody, hey, look, I did this story in this book and there's my name, then we'll have that. It's all about growing our crowds, and everybody who backs my books, they'll get this book and it'll say, have your stuff in it, and you can go. And I've played music for years, and I hate to say that the payment is exposure because that's really lame. But what I'm trying to do is share my little part, my tiny little part of the indie comics realm. Excuse me for a second. with these guys, and that way we'll say, one of these artists, somebody follows them and they grab the book because they like them. Well, they've just introduced them to my part, so their part meets my part, and all these other parts come together, and before you know it, out of this big circle, and this little part over here is ours. This little part is ours. That's the plan, anyways. So I'm just gonna see what we can do. I'm gonna try to move away from crowdfunding. I've been trying to save up some money. I think with Lone Wolf issue 2, I'm going to try to get it printed so that if we do use IndieGoGo, it's just an ordering system, or maybe like a pre-order for the actual book, and it's not to fund the actual book. Jameson's been cranking out artwork, and he's a really cool guy. He's young, he's new. He's going to be a name in comics someday because he's already ultra talented. And so's our colorist. The guy is killing it. I appreciate everybody. We've got a good little crowd here today. We've had a good little discussion talking about good things. I'm trying to do this every day. I miss a few days here and there, mostly weekends when we got family stuff going on. But every day around 11 Eastern, I'm going to be streaming. If you want to come on and talk about anything, I don't care what it is. We can come on. You can talk. I was talking about the Bible early. You want to come on? We can talk about the Bible. We can talk about 80s TV shows. Magnum PI is my favorite. Cartoons, comic books, whatever. I'm just here to try to grow my little part on YouTube and meet some cool people. So if you want to come on, hit me up. If you don't follow me on Twitter, which I'm sure everybody here does, follow me at DG310 on Twitter. But I think that about does it for today. Did my little rant. Maybe we'll rant some tomorrow. So just try to be good to each other. Be good to each other. Share some good comics. Try to make some new friends. And I will talk to you later. Bye.